Hey, you. Where do you think you're going?
I'm just taking a look around.
Just messing. Have to make my own entertainment. Gets a bit boring round here. Apart from the rotworms eating people. I'd stay on the walkway and not go too far out into the swamp. Believe me, being eaten by those creatures is not the way a man should go. Hang on, I think I've got a map somewhere you can have. Although by the looks of you, you could do with a better weapon.
Where can I get a better weapon?
Depends on what you're after. Some swear by a good blade. Others prefer the heft of an axe. I'm a hunter, so I favour a bow and arrow. I've got a couple of nice specimens here, actually. For the right price, I'm sure I could part with one or two.
What do you hunt in the swamp?
Less and less. There are only a few beasties. They may look unappetising, but you'd be surprised what our cook can do. About the only thing left big enough to feed us all is this large worm over to the west. But he's a big fella. I really need help to take him down. Probably a bit of help to keep him down after I've eaten him too.
I'm new around here. Got swept in with the tide. What can you tell me about this place?
Ah, I see. Well, then there are a few things you should know. This whole swamp area, from here to the temple in the north, it's run by Don Esteban, our leader. I wouldn't mess with him if I were you. He's got some fighters working for him that'd break your jaw as happy as look at you.
What can you tell me about the temple?
Came up from the ground about the time these storms started, and all these beasts came out of it. Never seen the like before. Indescribable they are. Our fighters soon sorted them out. I doubt there's much still alive in there. Well, apart from the Don. He's moved into the temple now. Don't see him very often. No one really knows what he's doing in there. Me, I say hunt, kill, and don't ask too many questions.
So, you haven't always been here in the swamp?
No, we used to have the whole of Harbour Town until the Inquisition came. All their magic and robes and stuff. They pushed us out here. Between you and me, I think the Don's pride took a bit of a knock. He hasn't been the same since. Most folks hate this place, but I like the fresh air. New things to hunt. Always felt too cooped up in town.
What are rotworms?
They can't really be described. Indescribable they are. They're like giant, rotting worms. You can ask Ricardo in the camp.
What else can you tell me about the Inquisition?
Same as everyone else, really. Don't get too close to them, or you'll find yourself dragged off to that monastery. They're not right in the head. I think they do something to them up there. I'm keeping well away. I advise you to do the same.
So, what's your boss doing in the temple?
I couldn't say for sure, but he's become very keen on collecting gold at the moment. He's got diggers working these ruins, and he always gives them a share. He's good like that. I think maybe he's planning on trying to take back Harbour Town. Gold commands a lot of power around here. Maybe even more than the Inquisition with their damn cult.
Let's trade. about I help you hunt this worm?
Oh, that's good of you. Tell you what, if we kill that thing together, I'll give you 30 gold. I hope you're well prepared. Don't want your death on my conscience.
Come on, let's go kill this rot worm.
That's the spirit? Right. Ready your weapon and stay close to me.
I think that's cooked. This smells good.
Hey, you.
Uh.
I'm a hunter. Oh, he's got. Then I'm. He's gold.
Let's trade. How about I help?
Oh, t-
Come.
that right. Attack!
Coward.
One for the islanders. See, that's what being a hunter is all about. The thrill of the hunt, the buzz of the kill. Ah, that's made my week, that has.
Can you teach me about hunting?
To be honest, I'm not a very good teacher. I just sort of have an instinct for it. Lewis is your man. He taught me. Ask him.
Lewis. Right. I've killed that worm. You don't need to worry about it.
One less worm is no bad thing. Here, have 30 gold for your trouble. Hey, if you're going to the camp, can you take this raw meat with you? They always need food there. Just give it to Rachel, the cook. I'm gonna stay here. See if I can spot my next challenge.
I'm sure you have plenty to do.
Hey,
Hey,
any trouble today?
no,
Expecting any?
nah,
Must be fun being a guard.
not really.
What exactly do you guard in a swamp?
Flies, the smell, the dawn.
The dawn.
Back there in that temple. But my post is here, in the swamp.
Sounds like an important job. What is there around here that people need guarding from?
You must have seen them.
Seen what?
Those things.
Things?
The things from the ruins.
There are ruins everywhere.
The ones that came up from the ground. The ground is warped or something.
That's where these things are.
Yeah. They're all over that excavation site in the middle of the swamp.
And?
They make me nervous.
Why?
They're disgusting.
Uh-huh. You ever have any problems with the locals?
Locals. They give you any trouble, you just smack them around.
Or you could try talking to them. Who's in charge here?
The Don.
Who?
The Don.
Right. You don't talk much.
What do I want to talk for? I don't know you.
Where is the Don?
In the temple.
Is he religious?
Ha!
So what does he do in there?
Avoids being out here.
Getting anything out of you is like pulling teeth.
That's why I make such a good guard.
All right, let's try this question. Tell me more about these things. The ones in the excavation site.
They're disgusting. Big insect things. I wish someone would get rid of them.
I can. You must have picked up some skills to be a guard.
I know how to fight, and I can handle a crossbow.
Can you train me?
To fire a crossbow? All right. But it will cost you.
I want to improve my fighting skills. I'd need paying. Say 30 gold coins.
30? Yeah. It's worth that to get rid of those things. They're disgusting.
Keep my gold warm. I'll be back for it.
What do you want?
Man like you has clearly seen some action.
Well, you know, I don't like to boast, but I've crushed a few heads. If you want to eat here, you have to work. You want a free ride? Try those white robes at the monastery. They'll give you a free ride all the way to their excavation camps. And keep your paws off other people's stuff while you're here, or you'll lose your paws.
I don't know. What do I want?
You were looking at me.
I'm new here. I'm just getting to know people.
If you don't know I'm the best fighter in the camp, then you ain't been here long enough for me to care.
Hey,
I've not seen you before. Who are you? A fresh-faced young man eager to experience the thrill of an outlaw's life?
maybe.
I can't think why else you'd be here. There are warm alehouses and welcoming brothels in the town. Food and indoctrination at the monastery.
Are you a woodcutter for the camp?
Just because I'm cutting wood doesn't mean I'm a woodcutter. Actually, I'm a hunter. My lads and I provide meat for the camp.
So you lead the hunters?
Normally, yeah, but as you can see, I've got vital woodcutting work to do. So right now, my hunters are running wild like free spirits. Or they think they are.
Shouldn't you get someone else to cut the wood?
I'd love to, believe me. But Brogar would nail me to a tree if I left this wood unsawn.
Brogar.
One of the Don's lieutenants, the leader of the fighters, a, shall we say, powerful, single-minded man.
And you're his personal woodcutter.
For my sins,
Why does he want you to do it?
I tangled with him, and now I have to pay. We live by Brogar's laws out here.
Brogar's laws, not the Don's.
The Don wants me to hunt, Brogar wants his fire stoked. You judge who's really in charge.
Why don't you stand up to Brogar?
Him and all his fighters, you mean?
So everyone's afraid of him.
You clearly haven't met him yet. Then you'd understand. He's over there. Go and introduce yourself. Then decide whether you'd stand up to him.
How can I become one of the Don's men?
Firstly, I'll need to tell you a couple of things. The Don's a powerful man. Well, he was. Since we've been in this swamp, he's hidden in that temple. Hasn't been out for weeks. His wife Rachel's been trying to run the camp. She's the one you need to impress if you want to meet the Don.
Rachel. Right.
Before you charge up to her, you need to be aware of...
Brogar.
You're learning.
Why can't I get to talk to the Don himself?
If you can't get Rachel on your side, Maybe you could get past the guard at the temple. Maybe.
Sounds like it could be worth a try.
True, but it's a long shot. Rachel might be your best way in.
Can you teach me to hunt?
Sure you wouldn't rather chop wood?
I was thinking more of hunting.
Then you're talking to the right man.
Can you teach me about hunting?
Huh? What was that?
What do you want?
Hey,
Sleeping.
you don't look like the rest of the Don's men.
Me? I'm the one the rest of them treats like dirt. Day in, day out, me and my workers try our best. And they need us, the bosses. But do they realize that? I wish they'd come and see what it's like. See if they like being eaten by swamp worms.
Are you in charge of the workers here?
Yeah, I'm supposed to oversee the workers at the excavations. But morale is so low that the men don't care anymore.
Why is it so bad here?
We keep losing men to the worms. And there are even worse fates, too. I'd rather be anywhere else. But we have to collect anything made of gold and take it to Beppo. We didn't expect to have to fight the monsters here. We're not trained for it. And that bastard Brogar should be protecting us. But do his fighters ever come and help? Do they, hell? Too drunk, most of them.
So the excavations have stopped.
They won't be happy when they find out. The Don's supposed to be a fair man, but Brogar isn't, and he should be protecting us. If any of my men were good at fighting, they'd have gone long ago. They'd be living it up in the bars and brothels of Harbour Town.
If I'm going to take action, I'll need better armor.
I can give you workers' clothes, that's all. And you'd have to pay. After all, you're not a worker. Why should I clothe you?
We're all stuck on this island in this swamp together. We might as well help each other. I'll see if I can get your workers back to work.
You won't. If I can't, what chance does a stranger have?
I can talk to Brogar for you.
Don't. It'll only cause trouble. We've tried everything. Brogar's not going to listen to you.
What can you tell me about Brogar?
Nothing. I'm not telling you anything. I don't want trouble.
You've already got trouble.
Yeah, but I'm not dead. I'd rather take my chances with the worms than get Brogar angry.
Brogar can't be that bad.
Brogar is all bad. Ask the hunters. They'll tell you what he's capable of.
Well, I offered to help. Are any of your workers around?
They should all be at the excavation site. But that doesn't mean they will be. You'll recognize them. They'll be wearing workers' clothes, even if they've got no intention of working. Uncontrollable, most of them. That's what the swamp and being ignored does to you.
You really have given up, haven't you?
Well, you would in my position. It's hopeless. Hopeless.
Hopeless isn't a word I use. Maybe I can do something to help. How many excavation sites are there?
3. 1 east of the temple, and 2 right in the middle of the swamp. Look for the artifact crates. They mean you're in the right place.
Right.
I need sleep.
I don't like faces I don't know well, and your face is too pretty. Slap some makeup on you and you could work the brothels.
You know I'm new here then?
Shiny skin, gormless expression. You're not the first. It's the heap of gold in the temple. It sucks in idiots like flies to shit. But there's no one round here that wants to split their share of the Don's gold any further.
You're a fighter, right?
I took the advice my teacher gave me. Find something you like and make it your job.
What's the Don going to do with the gold? Invest in swampland?
We might be stuck here now, but we're not going to be here forever. Once those religious nutcases are gone, Harbour Town will be ours. Then you'll see.
What are the Inquisition doing in the town?
Pretty face. Shame you're thick as pig shit with it. They only need the town to give them a supply route. The real work happens in the monastery. Fuck knows what they do up there.
And you don't think it would be a good idea to find out?
You're the nosy fucker. Why don't you knock on the door and ask them? Let's see how many questions you've got after they work you to death in the temple ruins.
Live here, die there. You know, there's an ocean full of beautiful desert islands. Where did the Don get all his gold?
See that temple? We took it. And guess what? It was full of gold and artifacts and stuff. Now it's full of guards, an ogre, and surrounded by us. There are temples all over the island. Why don't you bugger off and find your own?
You just walk in and take the gold from the temple ruins.
Yeah, it's that simple. Go on, try it. Then you'll see the beasts that come charging out of those ruins. You have to deal with them before you get to the shiny stuff.
So you've cleared all those creatures out of the ruins?
Keen to see them, are you? All right. We'll go to a temple ruin nearby. You help me deal with the creatures there, then you can get your share of the gold.
What's the catch?
There's no catch. We clear the place and split the rewards.
How do we split the gold?
50-50.
I'll think about it.
All right, but don't take too long.
Nothing new for you.
Temples rising from the ground. The sky's up there, we're down here, the earth's down there. No more peace and harmony.
Who's...
Hey,
Lost, are you? Don't you worry about it. I'll take care of you.
who are you?
Craig. And if you want a fortune in gold, I'm your man.
Your job is to distribute wealth.
Exactly. I arrange little wagers, you give me your gold, and you could double it.
What odds do you offer?
Ah, you're interested? Ha, listen up, I'll explain. You give me a sum in gold. If you win, I'll pay you back double.
And if I lose?
There are no losers, only future repeat gamblers. I'll just keep your gold warm until you want to try and win it back.
And can I be sure you'll pay out if I win?
Oh, you of little faith. I'm hurt. If I wasn't honest, do you think I'd last 2 minutes around here?
How do I place a bet?
Oh, nothing easier. We bet on anything here. Who'll be the next worker to get eaten by a swamp creature? The next winner in the arena? Anything. You can even bet on yourself. If you want to go into the arena.
People fight for gold.
Don't sound so surprised. People have fought for gold since time began. There's a small arena over in the west. That's where it happens. I bet you're worth a gamble. Tough-looking fella like you.
Is there somewhere around here I can train for combat?
I wouldn't normally do this, but I'll train you if you like. Always good to get the inside skinny, in case you go into the arena.
Tell me more about the arena.
It's all friendly, just a few bruises and broken limbs. It isn't to the death. It's where we train and test ourselves. Well, if you fancy a fight, just challenge one of our fighters. If he accepts, he'll go into the arena with you. The fight starts when both willing volunteers are in the arena with their weapons drawn. The first fighter to go down loses.
That's clear enough. Which of the fighters here are the best?
Based on recent form, Ricardo's a loser. Lorenzo isn't too sharp either. Used to be alright. Faded a bit these days. I'd say Domingo is probably the best in camp.
I want to improve my fighting skills. I want to be stronger.
You're learning.
I've decided to fight in the arena.
That's what I wanted to hear. Well done. Do yourself proud. Remember, once either man hits the ground, the fight's over. Carrying on when your opponent's on the dirt, that's not fair play, is it? You'll pay dearly if you break that rule.
Right. I want to make a bet.
Fabulous. What do you want to gamble on?
I'll fight Ricardo and win.
Well, that's not too hard a prospect. Lousy odds, so your winnings won't be great.
Now, who could teach me to pick locks?
Watch yourself.
Don't touch anything, right?
Did I look like I wanted to talk to you?
Whoa there. Someone shoot your dog?
Stupid and mouthy don't wash well round here, especially not from workers.
Seems to be working for you.
You must be new round here. I'll tell you what, since you're new in this pond, little fish, I'll cut you a break. But after that, your bones will get the breaks. You hearing me? See, folks around here do what I say. Now enough questions. I'm hungry. Bring me a haunch of fried meat from Rachel, the cook up by the smithy. Bit snooty, but a looker. The Don's a lucky man. Of course, with him in that temple all the time, she might need a bit of company.
I hope you know how to behave in someone else's What do you want here?
Are you the local blacksmith?
Blacksmith? I look like I spend my days making fucking old shoes. I'm a pewterer, a gilder, a worker of fine metal, and I'm not looking for an apprentice, particularly one that doesn't know the difference between a metal worker and a smith.
Do I look like an apprentice?
You don't look like you've got the coin to be a customer. What you want?
Do you need help? I'm looking for work.
No one here looks for work. The only thing people here look for is gold. And you don't look like you're any different.
Do you work with gold?
Gold. Gold. Nothing but gold. You just see the money in it, don't you? Well, there's no point in you thinking about getting wealth here. Every crumb of gold out there belongs to the Don.
Everyone has to give their gold to the Don.
If you know what's healthy for you, once a month, you have to take the Don his share.
And how much is his share?
You see anyone round here looking wealthy?
Not unless mud is the local currency.
You should see the gold he has in his teeth. Hordes of it. I can see that look in your eye. Fancy a slice to you. You'll end up in pieces with local culture.
How do I get to see the Don?
What do you want to see the Don for? Try standing on a tree outside the temple. You're not going to get closer than that.
No one gets to see him. There has to be somewhere to get to see him. There must be some way to see the Don. Something he wants.
If it doesn't glitter, he doesn't give a toss. I wouldn't be surprised if one day he had his wife gold-plated.
Is there something he wants then? Something in gold he doesn't have?
We found a sword pull. Beautiful bit of work. Supposed to belong to some garrison commander before he pissed off an ogre. You find the blade for that pull, but don't kiss your hairy ass. Frankly, I would too.
I'll find the blade the Don wants.
You want to look for it? Be my guest. But you take one piece of that blade for yourself. One bit of glittering gold. I'll hear about it.
I wouldn't dream of it. Where can I find this sword blade the Don wants?
If you believe the stories, the ogre dragged the garrison commander off where those temple ruins are. If anyone has found anything there, they're bound to shoot their mouth off. The particularly seeing as those bits of blade will be covered in gold. There's a pisshead called Lewis, reckoned he'd seen something, but he's a sack of shit.
So you want to restore the sword for the Don?
If I can get all the pieces. Can't do jack shit without all the pieces.
I'm looking for new weapons.
Looking is for losers. Paying gets you the goods.
Have you got any sword blanks?
Just what I got here. My stock of ore is empty. You bring me some iron ore, I can make you some blanks.
What have you got to trade? I don't know how to make that.
Waif and stray looking for pity? Or fortune hunter looking for gold? Looks like I've got another mouth to feed.
You the cook.
Amongst other things, you have to be adaptable in these times. One day you've a sword in your hand, the next, a ladle. And the cooking relaxes me, if you call stirring wild boar and arugula weed cooking. Sorry, forgotten my manners. I'm Rachel. Here, new mouth, take this meat, freshly cooked.
Rogar wants a haunch of fried meat.
And he sent you to get it for him? Lazy devil. Well, I've already given you some meat, so you can sort Rogar out yourself.
I need to talk to the Don.
Join the queue. I'm thinking of joining it myself. You can talk to me. When Esteban's busy, and he's always busy, I'm in charge.
But can you get me in to see him?
No. Look, he needs time alone to think. I'm always having to turn people away, even his good friends. Why would I make an exception for a newcomer?
You mean apart from my rugged good looks?
Believe me, I've seen better. Unless you have something really important for the Don, you aren't going to get to see him. I don't like the situation. I'm his wife and I don't get to see him. But it's his wishes, and we have enough trouble around here without looking for more. Oh, you're back, are you? Well, what do you want this time?
How are things around here?
Perfect. I don't know why we didn't move out of the town into the swamp earlier. The Inquisition are sucking the life out of the town, but this swamp is sucking the life out of us. We used to be close, all of us. Everyone made their share, worked for their share. Now it's falling apart. And with Esteban in that damn temple, I'm the one trying to hold it together.
Can I help?
And why would you want to do that? What do you want? Lazy cutthroats, idle thieves, and mosquitoes. Why do you want in on this?
Why do you think things are falling apart?
It's those ruins. They've got everyone's mind on treasure, even my Esteban. The whole place is being dug up, although I'm certain that not everything that's being found is being delivered to the camp. Esteban makes sure that all the workers get a share of the gold. He's very fair like that. But someone is looking to line their own pockets.
You think the Don is losing control?
He's a complicated man. The Inquisition's takeover of Harbour Town shook him up badly. All we've got is this place, and it's fragile, especially at the moment. I really don't need someone stirring up trouble.
You sound like you need help. What if I help out?
You do that. But, well, if you really want to stick your hand in this beehive, you're welcome to. We can certainly use the help. Everything seems to have ground to a halt. Go to the camp lieutenants and see what sort of problems they're having. That should help you get a picture of what's happening here. Maybe we can root out the source of this rot before it reaches Esteban.
About your camp. I was told you're short of food. You need more meat?
Finally, someone who wants to do some work. Yes, I need 10 haunches of raw meat. You bring me the meat, and I'll put a little gold in them.
I never say no to gold. So who are the lieutenants here?
If you can't find that out yourself, how are you going to help me? Just go and talk to everyone. You'll find them. You'll soon see who's in charge and who thinks they are.
Who do you think it is lining their own pockets? And what would happen to them if you knew who it was?
He'd be dead. Esteban's not a forgiving man.
So it seems. By the way, the fighters are holding show fights in the arena.
Well, they need something to work out their aggression. Leave them to knock each other's brains out. It stops them bothering us.
Craig is running a betting ring.
Who knows Esteban doesn't like that kind of thing. It just ends up with the men arguing. This could be the spark that sets everything off. Go and tell Craig I said to stop it if he knows what's good for him. What are you doing in here? What do you want? You better not be trying to nick anything.
What reason do you have for staring?
Hey,
Hey, what? You better be from Hawkins. I need those crates moving.
what crates?
The ones full of artifacts? What else are we moving? Damn Hawkins. His workers should have delivered them by now. I knew it was too much responsibility for the old coot.
So you're in charge of moving boxes, right?
They're not just any old boxes. They're full of artifacts from the excavation sites. They get dug up, they come to me, and then they go to the Don.
Oh, so you're not even moving boxes for yourself then?
When you get an important role here, then you can make jokes. Until then, shut your bleeding mouth.
What's in these artifact crates?
Puppets. Artifacts, what do you think, genius? Everything that's dug up from the ruins gets crated up. But keep your mitts off it. If you're looking for gold, then do some work. You dig for the Don, then you'll get your share.
I'll think about it. I've just arrived. I'm not from anywhere.
Lazy more like. Bet you've never done a decent day's work in your life.
Let's talk sensibly. Help you get your crates.
Think you can? All right. We'll get going and get them moving.
No sense in asking if you know the magic word.
What magic word? Here, you're not with that Inquisition lot, are you? I'll have no magical nonsense around here.
Where are these crates you want to move?
At the excavation site, but they should be here. I swear, those workers are being slack just to wind me up. You're going to spend your whole life hanging around.
Stop where you are. You ain't going another step closer to the Don.
Guarding. Guess that's a really important job.
Most important in the camp. I make sure people don't just stroll in to see the Don. very against strolling in, and I'm not pissing Rachel off or I won't get any grub. So, move along.
How do I get permission to speak to the Don?
The Don is busy. He's thinking. Talk to his wife, Rachel. She's in charge.
Right, I'll go and talk to her then.
I ain't got no work for you. Go and see Sam or Hawkins and stop bugging me. Hey, you deaf or what? Beat it!
Does Brogar ever fight in the arena?
You looking to lose bits of yourself? Just asking would be risking your skin. Forget it. That's my advice.
Why?
He's not one to mess with. Arena fighting's a game. Brogar doesn't play games.
Neither do I. Have you come across a piece of a sword blade?
The one Oscar's trying to piece together. He wants to make a sword for the Don, I believe.
And?
And I might have a piece of it. Oscar tried to buy it from me, in fact. But he wasn't offering enough, so I thought I'd hang on to it.
Will you sell me your piece of the sword?
It'd have to be for, no less than 100 gold.
That's a deal.
What, really? Fine. Well, here it is.
I told Rachel about your bets.
Are you out of your mind?
What? I didn't know it was such a big deal.
Big deal. The Don has forbidden gambling, especially for gold.
But I thought everyone...
You didn't think at all. You better go back to Rachel and straighten this out. Go on, talk to Rachel. Get this sorted.
Anything you need to tell me?
Don't worry about Craig. He won't be taking any more bets.
But I hope not. It's a step. This is for you. A small pen for you.
What did she say?
I calmed her down. You can keep running your books.
We were lucky. You were lucky. Next time, talk to me before blabbing. In fact, make sure there isn't a next time, right?
You'd be a good opponent. Why don't you fight me in the arena?
I should have seen that coming. Think about it. This is my domain. I even bet on myself. You got spirit, but try someone easier.
Don't bother me with this.
Not right now.
Hawkins says you're meant to be protecting his workers.
Hawkins says, does he?
You promised Hawkins if he paid, you'd protect him.
You worried about him. You protect him.
Right. You're a real man of honor. Tell you what, you do it yourself.
You got some backbone, haven't you? We'll soon rip that out of you. Boys, give this little fish a lesson in manners. You'll find my lads are tough but fair. Well, they're tough. Put that thing away. About time.
You see why people don't stand up to Brogar?
A few bruises won't stop.
You're lucky it wasn't stab wound.
His armor and those fighters make him feel tougher than he is.
For you, maybe. For me, that's why I don't...
Brogar is a big fish in a small pond.
And those are giant words. So big, I don't think you know what you're saying.
I know some people wouldn't have a problem if he disappeared.
I won't be responsible for what Brogar would do to you.
Let me worry about that.
You should worry. You're serious, aren't you?
What would I have to do to deal with him?
If you work for him, do what he tells you, and listen to everything he says. You'll let things slip. But you do know what you're proposing is dangerous.
About Brogar. You might cut his wood, but I don't want to end up as Brogar's lackey.
What does he want you to do?
He wants a haunch of meat.
Do it. Get it for him.
Why should I feed him?
If you want to get in with Brogar, bring him what he wants. Make him trust you, but show him you mean business. That you can be an asset to him, not another slavish camp worker. If he thinks you're clever, and that you can't be bullied, he'll take notice.
I heard that Brogar was supposed to take care of the workers.
Brogar takes care of himself. That's nothing new. It won't help you much at the moment.
Who knows about Brogar, and wouldn't mind talking to me?
Talk to Lewis, one of my hunters. He knows a few things, more than you think. Start with him, see what he says.
How does Rachel feel about it?
She's soft. Brogar bullies her, and she's like that even though the Don's behind her.
Brogar's fighters are staging fights in the arena. Would the Don approve of that?
You'd have to ask Rachel, but it might be something you can hold against Brogar. You could use it to stop Brogar. If you challenged him to combat and won, that would embarrass him in front of everyone. But it wouldn't be easy.
That's an understatement.
Well, you started on this path. Every man chooses his destination. Where are you going?
Whatever happens, I'll need to train.
A man needs skills. And with the path you've chosen, you'll need more skills than most.
There is no way I can beat Brogar with this useless equipment.
If you're after a better blade, Oscar the Smith will stand you on. If that fails, you'll need another line of attack. Magic. Try talking to Robar, the swamp farmer. He knows about magic, and as he's outside the camp, people won't hear you buying stuff.
I need some better armor.
You won't find it out here. There's only workers' clothes here.
Well, what about your armor? Where did that come from?
Armor for the hunters and fighters comes from the Don. But you won't get close to that if you're not accepted as one of us.
Right, so I've got to join the Don's gang first. All right. Where can I get workers' clothing?
Hawkins is your man. He's one of the Don's lieutenants. He's in charge of the workers.
The temple guard wouldn't let me in.
Do you think he'd invite you in for a beer? He's a guard, remember? You'll have to have something for the Don. A gift, information, something valuable.
What sort of gifts?
Oscar the Smith will tell you. He's helped a lot of people impress the Don. Oscar's good with gold. And as I say, the Don rather likes unusual things that glitter.
I heard something about pieces of a sword. A sword decorated with gold.
Oscar's looking for pieces just like that. I also know that Brogar's got one, which you might say is something of an obstacle. I bet Oscar's tried to get it, which means it won't be easy or cheap for you to persuade Brogar to part with it.
True. But I'm sure this sword will get me in to see the Don.
If it glitters, it will catch his eye.
And getting the sword could get me in.
You'll need all the pieces. Then you need Oscar to work his magic, if that's even possible. And then you'll need Oscar to be willing to give the sword back to you. It's not an easy thing to do. None of it.
I wonder where the pieces are. If they're all decorated with gold, people won't just give them away.
Well, you know Brogar has one. You might like to check out the workers. They're in the middle of things. They see what gets dug up. And they're likely to keep some things quiet. When a man has nothing, a little is a lot.
Can you teach me about it? Help me improve my dexterity.
Yes, exactly.
I could help you.
Helpful sort, aren't you? You better not have landed me in it with Brogar. But then one's trouble is another's ease. Rachel needs this meat, so she'll be happy. Take note, sometimes it's better to take sides than end up in the middle.
About your hunting. What can you tell me about your hunters?
Well, there's Lewis. Haven't seen him for days. I expect he's under a rock in the swamp. Not even the swamp flies bother him when he's had a skinful. Doug should also be in the swamp. He should be hunting. I haven't seen him for days either. And of course you know what delightful tasks I have to do.
I met a hunter called Yan. You haven't mentioned him.
He got himself posted as a guard on the road to Harbour Town. We never see him back here these days. That's another hunter less feeding the camp.
Doug has been successful. He's given me some meat for the camp.
We needed that. You better take it to Rachel if you haven't given it to her already.
Please don't disturb me.
Don't bother me with this.
You must be hungry, if you're happy to take food from strangers.
We used to have a whole town. Now we just got a swamp. You gotta grab any meal you can get.
Someone in your position ought to be more careful. Who knows what you're being fed?
No one would dare mess with my grub. And if you're thinking about it, then also think about what your entrails look like. 'Cause you'll see 'em pretty fast if you mess with me.
Got any proper work for me?
Are you actually good for something, little fish?
Easy to be cocky with that weapon and fancy armor of yours.
Nah, it's all the bodies I buried that make me cocky. 2 of my boys are supposed to be guarding the eastern swamp farm, but Clay's been lazing around the campfire. Go and see him. Make sure he takes over from Phil before Phil rots up there. Simple. I'm not losing another man to this fucking swamp.
Get Clay to take over from Phil. Sounds simple enough.
The farm's over to the east. As it's a simple job, I'll assume you'll get it done.
Do you boys do anything other than stand about all day?
They're guarding. What do you expect? When it comes to standing around all day, these guys are the best. Trained killers, though, the lot of them. And if those creatures from the temples march in here, you'll be damn glad of them. So, show a little respect.
The fighters answer to you, right?
Yeah, most of them owe their lives to me. One way or another, they know not to mess with a big fish.
So you know where they are at all times?
Course. Well, usually. One of them has gone missing. Dorgan was on an errand for me, down in the swamps. The pillock's probably got himself lost, or eaten, or he's chasing wenches again, never could keep his mind on the task in hand.
I'll look for him.
When I get my hands on him, he's gonna be emptying piss pots for the next month.
Why are you making Sam saw wood for you?
What business is it of yours, little fish?
He needs to hunt. If he doesn't, we'll all starve.
And if I don't get wood for my fire, I'll be pissed off. You're pissing into the wind if you wait for Rachel to organise anything. You want something here, you have to take it.
Yeah, I'm beginning to understand that. You seem to be a man who hears a thing or two. Have you heard anything about a broken sword blade?
What good is a sword in pieces to anyone? Worthless junk. Only one who'd be interested in that is that blacksmith. And you, apparently. What's that about, then?
Do you know where the pieces of the sword blade are?
I know where one piece is. I've got it. Question is, what will you do to get it?
By the way, Brogar is forcing Sam to work for him instead of hunting. He's sawing wood for Brogar's fire. That's why you've not been getting the meat you need.
Damn Brogar. I thought he was trying to undermine Esteban. He'd be nothing without the Don, and now I need that meat.
What do you want to do about it?
Me? You do what you can. There'll be a full-on rebellion if stomachs go empty. If you want to help out, get me meat and get Sam back out hunting.
Brogar is refusing to help the workers. They're being attacked by the creatures in the swamp.
That sounds like him. Wouldn't want to risk his precious fighters to protect the workers. This is all grist to the mill. Keep an eye on him. There's bound to be more.
More? It doesn't look like anyone is doing their job in this camp. Craig has a piece of the sword blade the Don wants.
So he says. But that bastard won't part with it cheap if he has got it.
You knew he had a piece of the blade.
Nothing happens in this camp without someone mouthing about it. You didn't pay him, did you?
Does that matter?
Well, they say a fuckwit and his money as soon as parted.
About... Brogar's hold on the camp isn't as strong as he thinks it is.
Maybe, but he's not stupid and he's certainly not weak. You defied him. Don't expect him to take his eye off you now. Be very, very careful, my friend.
The Don's wife, Rachel, seems tense about something.
The Don put her in charge of this mess, and if she can't feed people, how can she control anything else? Brogar wants the Don out of the way. Proving Rachel useless only helps him.